Hello everyone, it's Cyber again, and in tonight's tutorial I was going to do a live, but Facebook is acting really wacky tonight, and it said that it was going through a scheduled maintenance. So in the meantime, I'm going to just go ahead and do the tutorial, so when we actually are up and rocking again, we will be able to view it together. So when you open up your SCAL5, you want to select New Project, and it's going to show Untitled 1. You can actually leave it as that. Okay, one of the first things I do when I start creating a project, you do not need the My Library, the shapes. I'm going to just go ahead and delete that. Okay, so the next thing I do is I open up all of my bars over here from the C column. Actually, let me make this bigger for now. Okay, so I don't need document, so I'm going to put it back. I don't need position and size. We're actually going to use fill and stroke. I don't need style. I'm going to use text. And down here is your layers bar. We're going to maximize that because we need that. Okay, the name of the font is called Aliando Rocco, if I'm actually pronouncing that correctly. So Aliando is here. There we go, Aliando Rocco. Okay, that is the name of the font. My font color is going to be black right here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do Scal. Can we do SCAL5 classroom? And I actually think I'm going to do classroom. And how I did that was I just clicked this text box here. Now, one thing about SCAL is once I click this, I want to be able to move these around and resize. So I'm going to click this arrow so that I'm able to select. Say, make sure you hold down the shift button when you're resizing. So right now I'm just right clicking it with my keyboard mouse, my laptop mouse. I'm going to hold down the shift button and drag the bottom right like so to make it big. And I like to make it bigger so that I can see it and work with it. So I'm going to hold down the shift button again. And what that does is it keeps its size. If you do not hold the shift button, this is what happens. It just changes sizes automatically like that. So just click undo at the top, hold down your shift button, and you can size it however you want it, and it retains its shape. So if I put SCAL Classroom here, okay, now I just want to make it how I want to. I think that's going to be okay. Okay, probably make this a little bit bigger because it's on the bottom. Okay, and then my second font that I'm going to use, I'm going to select the text box. If I can remember where I got this font from, I will actually insert it in the box as well. It's called Wall X Black. So one thing about font pairings is, let me see, SCAL5 class, we're going to do shadowing tutorial. Okay, so I'm also going to click the arrow back so that I can select it, move it around, and it's actually sized a little bit perfect, almost, not quite. So I'm going to hold down my shift button and resize it. Okay, so now I have my design. And one thing about SCAL is that, actually I'm going to move this design down because we're going to shadow. One thing about SCAL is that you do not have to have the internet in order to use it. So now that Cricut Design Space was down today, the internet was down today all over the world. I mean, it was just really a hot mess. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all of this because I want to group it together. So I go to select all of it, drag and click, and we're going to go to Object and Group. And that puts it together, make it all one. You see it changed over here in your Layers tab. That's one of the reasons why you want your Layers tab up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the Control, make sure your arrow is selected up here. Hold down Control and right click on your mouse or your keyboard. Okay, then we're going to go to Appearance, Add Shadow. Okay, so for the style t-shirts that I showed you guys online, I left it at 0.050. Okay, so the outer layer I changed to red. And then here, layer count, we're going to go to 2 and 2. And I actually changed that to white. And I think I might have got it reversed. Yep. We're going to change this to white. And we're going to change this to red. Okay, so that was what I did. The variants, all this does is it gives you your extra layers. So I actually have a white layer. And for this tutorial, I'm actually going to change it to something else. Let's change it to maybe a blue because I want you to be able to see it. Okay, so you can see this here, right? The blue is the area that we're actually going to delete. Okay, just select OK. It's going to take a minute. There we go. Okay, so now I have my delete layer. So this is how you do multiple layers with this design. But where you see the blue, we're actually going to delete that in Cricut Design Space and make it white like the design that I showed you on my Facebook. So what we're going to do next, you can either select all like this, or you can go to Edit, select all. Then we're going to go to File, Export. Make sure it's an SVG, and we're going to do SCAL5, Shadowing, Tutorial. And make sure you remember where you saved it. It's on my desktop. Make sure these two boxes are selected. And now you've saved it as a SVG. Okay, so now we finish up in SCAL. I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to open up my Cricut Design Space mat. Okay, so now we're going to upload. Go here, browse. And it's really simple once you do it a couple times. I wanted to outline, but I wanted to try to save on HTV. As if you have a white shirt, instead of using white vinyl, you can actually do this. It's kind of like a knockout technique. Not quite a knockout, but very similar. Okay, so now I have it uploaded. We're going to save. Okay, going to click it and insert. Now that we're here in Cricut Design, it's broken up into many, many parts. This technique that I'm about to show you, you can actually use with other SVGs, and it's one of the easiest things that I can do to try to make my SVGs easier. So like with this, what you want to do is you want to go to the C column and click Ungroup, because you want to ungroup these items. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add like colors. But before we add like colors, we're going to add like fonts. So hold down the Shift button and select all of the lettering like this. Let's click them one at a time, because you want to start condensing your SVG parts. So I have all of the bottom lettering down here, or I could have just selected like this. I guess not. To keep from selecting the rest of it. There we go. So it's two ways you can do that. So now it's all one word. You see it's all one word here. Now you want to do the same thing with your curly letters. Hold on your Shift button. And you're definitely going to have to do this. You can't do the select with this one. Okay, so I have all of my black lettering. We're going to select Weld. There we go. Okay, so now all of the curlies are this way. Now, you remember I said we were going to delete the blue and keep the red, correct? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold down the Shift button, select these two, and we're going to slice, because you can only slice 2 images at a time. So now I want to delete this. And how do I know? You see that? And we already said that we were going to delete the blue. So you can delete from your keyboard, or you can just select delete up here. The inside of this, we want to keep the outline. So we're going to delete the inside of that as well. That leaves us with our outline. Then you just unhide your lettering. Boom. Now this was supposed to be red. I'm not sure why that changed colors, so I'm going to change it to red. And there we have it. That is our outline. It's a really simple tutorial. So now that I have all of my black, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my Shift button, select all my black, and weld it. So now we have 2 mats. Everything is perfectly layered. I take off the outline. It's perfectly layered. It's going to be one thing. I add an outline back. As simple as that. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to actually do a live on how I cut this and how I layer it. So I'll see you guys on the other side.